Welcome back. My name is Brandon, and today we're going to do some more work on the skid steer. I've got some repairs to do on the bucket. One of my viewers from a recent episode pointed out that it had some missing brackets on the bottom for the support for the quick attach. I had to go back through the video because I hadn't noticed it ever before. Today we're going to be doing some welding with some self-shielded wire, and we're also going to be doing a lot of plasma cutting, so stick around. So if you look down in there, right where the engine is at, there's supposed to be, see that hole? There's supposed to be a plate down in there. And this is looking at it from underneath. Somebody's taken it off and now it's missing it. It's got a couple welded nuts on the back side. So we just got to make a plate that goes on the outside. That's it. We want to keep debris out of there. That's the point. Let's get this bucket detached because I don't want to do any welding while it's connected to the machine. We're going to be welding up the hole in the bucket. I've got a new cutting edge. I don't know as if this one's ever been flipped around before. You can see it's getting super close to the edge, but we'll compare it to the new cutting edge. And if we can flip it around, we'll flip it. If not, then we've got a new one to put on it. And then over the course of this summer, I'm going to slowly start kind of painting little sections of this at a time. Runs great, just doesn't look good. You can hear the windows rattling in this thing. They rattle something wicked. So I gotta figure out something because it drives me nuts. I got a little plastic wedge that I jam in this thing to help. If any of you guys know what I can do to make these windows vibrate less, that'd be great because it's irritating. This bucket weighs over 500 pounds, so it's not like it's a lightweight, you know. Yes, here we go. All right, I gotta get the dog. Look, so you see these two tabs right here? Completely gone over here. Rather than bend it back, I think what I'm gonna do is cut the section out so that way I can get up in there, and if there's any debris that's stuck in there, I'm not welding it up in there. So I'm gonna use this one as a template, fabricate this piece. It's gonna be right to the center line of that radius. Then I'll gouge off using the plasma cutter a straight line across here, and then I'll add another piece of plate from there to that edge. All right, so I got some cardboard. I'll hold this up to my straight edge area and make a template. Be easy to line up because you can see how you line up that edge to that edge. Just line all that up. So that gets cut out, and this gets saved, and this gets saved. Then we'll grind it all up, make it look good. Not that anyone's ever going to see this, because I didn't even know it was there until a viewer saw that. Well, I didn't know it wasn't there until a viewer noticed it and let me know. So thanks, bud. All right, I got my plasma cutter all set up. There isn't a whole lot to set up with it. Basically plug the air line into it and put on your contact tip and turn it on, and that's pretty much it. This has got a drag tip on it, so meaning I can rest it right onto the material. Man, I don't have a very steady hand. Your cut's only gonna be as good as your hand, you know what I mean? Like if you're wobbly, then that's what your cut's gonna be. Whatever. I'll do a cutting edge for this one, a straight edge, so make it easier on me. Much better with a straight edge. Look how nice and clean that cut is compared to that. It looks like not good. I'll have to clean it up. There, that'll work okay. So now we're gonna have to gouge back here a little bit so that we can put another plate in that area for wear resistance, kind of build it up a little bit. But while we're here, let's patch this in while we got the cutting tip on it, because I'm gonna have to put a gouging tip on it to gouge this out. And we'll make it, say, like this long, like right here. Wow, look how clean that is. It's crooked because of this beginning right here, how that worked, but that was me, not the machine. Now, we'll mark out the bucket. Okay, let's cut that out. There, I highlighted a little bit with marker so you can see it better. Or so I can see it better, I should say. Yeah, it had a little bit of crap in it. Been like that for a little while, looks like. Let's see what I brought out of it. That's not bad. Pretty minimal. And now the fun part. So I locked the trigger. So it's locked, so it can't go off. Remove my cutting consumable, and then put on a gouging consumable. We'll turn it on, and it just switched over to gouging. I don't know if you saw that, but now we're lit up on gouging consumables. It switched from cutting to gouging, so it just knows. Pretty sweet. So this will be my first time ever gouging using this machine. So just like anything, it's going to have a learning curve, whether it's a torch or a grinder or a drill. No matter what you're using, there's always a little bit of a learning curve. So I suspect I'll probably have one with this just as well, but my goal is to make a straight line across here and then clean it up with a grinder and then put a patch in here. Something for a straight edge here. Something like that. Just something to go by. Wish me luck. Oh wow. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's gonna work good. So I just found the base metal. It went that quick. So I might have to do a little bit of a steeper angle just so I don't cut through the base metal. Wow, that's fast. Wicked fast. Oh yeah, look at that. It's riding right on top of the base metal. Okay, I'm gonna just do a little more. I'm going at it really slow with a steep angle. You're supposed to have like a 40-degree angle, but I'm going a lot more because I'm trying to like wash it ahead. I don't want it to go too deep. Now I'm going to cut off my welds here on the side. Oh yeah. I'll hit this side. That should peel right off. Wow. Super precise too. Yeah, this is so much faster than just using a grinder. Look at this. Once I get this lifted up, you'll see the base metal didn't even touch it. Wash that weld right out of the way. Check that out, guys. So that's the base metal right there. Didn't even cut into it. Perfect. Clean up this little bit of dross over here. Boy, hardly any cleanup. I'll clean up this weld a little bit right here, and then I'll just run right over it with a Y wheel. Feels like I need a little more amperage. I'm now at 155 amps, 365 inches per minute, and 18.6 volts. So in this gap right here, I'm going to multi-pass that in there. So I'm going to put multiple passes in there, fill it up, and then radius it. So it'll look as though that's how it was. Ooh, good and hot now. You can tell the settings are pretty close too. If you notice, there's hardly like any slag or spatter, and it just cleans up real good. We got this all patched, laid it in there really thick and heavy. Same thing over here, nice and thick. And then on this patch, I laid down a bunch of weld, probably like 3 passes on each side. I know it's not pretty, and I wasn't looking for that. I just wanted to make sure that I got down a lot of weld down here to build that plate up. I almost put a little bit of like hard facing across that, but that'll be enough. And I'm almost thinking that this cutting edge has never been flipped over. I think this is the original edge, and this is the edge that's factory original. So we'll compare this to our one that we just purchased and see how that fits. And I'm going to try to reuse the bolts. I don't know if we can or not, but I'm going to try to unscrew them. If not, then we'll just torch them off. No big deal. I'm going to take a needle scaler, and I'm going to try to get this little bit of dirt that's around each of these, and I'm hoping it might vibrate it loose a little bit. Might be wishful thinking, but we'll see. Either way, the dirt's got to come off, because whether we use a socket and an impact or whether we torch them off, we got to get the dirt out of the way. The heads on these are 24 millimeter, and then underneath is a 10 millimeter Allen. Probably got asphalt in it. I'll dig out one, we'll get an idea of whether or not it's gonna work. I'm not overly optimistic, but we'll give it a try.
Yeah, took it right off.
So we got good news and we got bad news. So if I take my tape measure, put it on the edge of the blade there, to the center of that hole, we got about 3 1/4 inches. If I go over to my new cutting edge, put it on the edge of the blade, to the center of that hole, at about 3 1/4 inches. So that means all the bolts can come out of this and this blade could be reversed, but I found a problem. Do you see this right here? That's a crack running all along this. This cutting edge is literally snapped right in half. So for that reason, I'm gonna get out the plasma cutter. I'm gonna gouge off these nuts, get this cutting edge off, and put a brand new cutting edge on this blade with all brand new hardware. No sense spending time trying to unscrew it to reuse the hardware. We're gonna do all new now. Rather than trying to like cut through all of it, just be easier to gouge the corner of the nut off and then just hit it and it should just come apart. Hopefully, that's the thought. Remember I said yesterday about a learning curve? With everything you do, there's always a little learning curve. So it looks like if I cut it twice, here and here, it'll come right out. And I haven't hit the bucket at all, so that's good. Wow, that is so easy. How easy that is. You see, looks like the last person that put a cutting edge on this cut into the bucket there also. Check that out, guys. That piece just fell right off. That's where I showed you that it was broken. It's been broke for a while. You can tell, look at the edge, it's all rusted. I picked up some painting supplies from my local Sherwin-Williams. Got some paint that I'm going to apply to the bucket just to make it look a little bit better, but obviously not going to be able to do it today because look at the sky. Looks like it's going to rain anytime now. This is a job probably best done with 2 people, or do it while it's not up in the air on a sawhorse. I always like to work harder, not smarter, so we'll see how this pans out for me. Okay, here's one. Ooh. That wasn't too bad. And I just take this bolt that fits flush up through the bottom. Pretty slick. These are actually locking nuts, so probably doesn't even need to have Loctite on it, but why not? And the new cutting edge is all on. That's gonna work good. I was hoping to paint the bucket, but I think if we're gonna get rain, there's just gonna be too much moisture in the air, so I'm not gonna bother. If you guys have used this, I've never used it, but if you guys have ever used it, let me know what you think of this product. I guess it's an oil-based thing, and I'm just gonna roll it on with a 4-inch roller. Scuff it up a little bit, obviously, the bucket on the outside. It's just starting to rain. I did get the bucket cleaned up a little bit and needle scaled it and getting it ready for paint. Can't do much now because, as you can see, there's some droplets on the bucket, so it's starting to rain. Perfect timing. Let's go build that plate. We'll make that plate 8 1/4 by 7. So I got a little bit of scrap 3/16 plate. So I went on Cat's website and looked at it, and that plate is 4 millimeters thick. If I was to buy it, it'd be about 30 bucks. Well, 3/16 is just a little bit thicker than 4 millimeters. it actually works out to be 4.76 millimeters. So this will be a little bit heavier than if I bought one from the factory, but I'd rather have it a little bit heavier than lighter. This right here is the factory edge, so we'll use that to start building our piece. Then we just got to radius the edges a little bit. I got my fume extractor set up, and now I've got a straight edge set on my part, and all I can do is just cut it. Now we'll radius the corners, and anytime you can work with Dykem, it's always a good time. Love the color, and I love the smell. You can do the same thing with a black permanent marker. You could even use spray paint too. Make some nice looking radiused corners. Big ones. See how nice that shows up? Hopefully you can see it. Plasma cutter would radius these corners just fine, but I'm just showing you different ways of doing things. So I'm going to clip the corners on my portable bandsaw so I'm not hogging off a whole bunch of material, and then I'll bring it back over to the grinder and grind the radius into it. Alright, let's give it a go. Give it up for Sir Barks-a-Lot. Yeah, this will make it so much nicer. That way I don't have to worry about, you know, puncturing that diesel tank. That'd be such a pain. You have to pull the motor to get the tank out, I believe. There we go. Just like that. That's gonna work good. Yep, nice. Sweet. Flush at the bottom. Good. Now all I can do is just paint it up and put it together. And that's it. And that's all there is to it. This episode is getting a little long. I'll fix up that bucket here shortly so you guys can check it out. I'll have that in an upcoming episode. I'll show you what it looks like all painted and looking fresh. There'll be other episodes with using that skid steer and more modifications that we're going to be doing on it. New videos every Friday. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're wondering about any of the stuff that you see me using, I'll have links down below. Until next week, I will see you then. Take care, stay safe, and God bless. Give it up for Sir Barks-a-Lot in the background. Give it up for Sir Barks-a-Lot.